Hey, I know it's backwards. That's because I got the reverse phone thing going on. Oh my goodness, folks. January 7th, 2021. I'm going to burn this tomorrow. Might as well. I'm assuming that this video is probably late. Everybody's seen what happened in the Capitol. At the Capitol. At the people's house. At the Capitol. We elect representatives to represent us. And those representatives only represent themselves and big interest. It's time to change the country. We had riots for 3 or 4 months, all the way up until the elections, pretty much. Right before the elections, it stopped. Just so you know, there's been 0 mass shootings. No school shootings, no theater shootings, no gay bar shootings, no shootings. Except in Chicago. I forgot about Chicago. But Mayor Lightfoot is all over it. She's got everything under control. Folks, our country is in peril. It is a travesty what is going on right now. I know a lot of you guys are going to be cheering, hell yeah, man. Trump got done wrong. Trump didn't get done wrong. Trump did himself wrong. Trump set patriots up to come into D.C. and then set them up to go to the Capitol and then didn't show up at the Capitol. That's all I'm saying. Ain't that some bullshit? If he'd have showed up at the Capitol and ushered everybody in, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. I don't think. But anyway. Got some crazy stuff going on right now in this country. Here's my recommendations. Tighten your circle. If it's that big, shrink it down to that. If it's bigger than that, I mean like way out here and way out here, shrink it to that. Put those 10 or 15 people that you can trust with your life in your circle. The circle. Everyone else is a liability. If you can't trust them with your life, if you can't trust them with your daughter, you can't trust them with your wife, they are a liability. And in this world, we have liabilities and we have assets. And all those assets need to be in a circle that big. That big. A circle that big. And if they're not, then if your circle's bigger than that, you run the risk of having liabilities in your circle. As we've seen, there were many liabilities in the circle in D.C. Some of us seen it firsthand. Now, there's probably no doubt in my mind that Antifa infiltrated the Patriot movement up there. I knew that weeks ago that that was going to happen. And it happened. But our president, Donald J. Trump, didn't make it any better. He pretty much signed his own death warrant. There's no telling what's going to happen between now and the 20th, folks, but rest assured you can know what's going to happen on the 20th. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are going to be voted in as president, or correction, they're going to be sworn in as president and vice president of the United States. I feel that that's going to leave us vulnerable to foreign entities. I also feel, these are my opinions, that it's going to further erode our liberties. It's probably further going to erode our economy. There's no doubt. There's absolutely no doubt about that. You know, more regulations means it's a death sentence to the economy. It's just the way it is. Now, the number one thing I care about are my liberties. Those liberties that were granted to me by God that no man can take away. But you watch the liberty atrocities that come out of this Stop the Steal rally. You know, I tell you what it tells me. It tells me that Trump did not know his vice president that well. That's what it tells me. There was a breakdown at the top. It was a breakdown between number one and number two guy. Somewhere along the lines, somewhere in the last 4 years. As far as American citizens are concerned, they do not know what to believe. There absolutely is so much mis and disinformation out there, on purpose, by accident, and otherwise, that it leaves the American populace confused. But I do know this. That there are people in our country that are willing to stand against tyranny. You don't stand for one man. You don't stand for the king. You stand for our liberties. You stand for our God-given rights. You stand against tyranny and for our God-given rights. That is the only winning solution. Those who put their faith in one man are subject to that one man. And I am subject to no man. If you have watched the news over the last 24 hours, you have seen them call Trump supporters domestic terrorists. That is meant to strike fear in your heart. I'm not a Trump supporter, by the way. He lost my support when he started manipulating the Second Amendment. When he started supporting anti-constitutional laws, take the guns first, worry about due process later. He lost my support when, as a retired military veteran, I started having to pay for my health care that I was promised for free. Not free, it's taxpayers' money, but it was budgeted, right? And it's not about the money. Don't care about the money. It was the principle. That's when he lost my support. But it's not about one man. It is about one country. It is about the United States of America. This country that was founded by colonists, that had the steel to stand up against tyrants. And take it to the bank. And take it all the way to the bank. Make no mistake, we are headed for darker times. I don't know when the shot heard around the world will be. It will be the second shot. I pray it doesn't come. For the sake of our republic. But when you do not have fair elections, when all of your media is against you and spreads falsehoods, when you have the Vice President of the United States elect say that these riots must continue, but yet condones the riot that happened at the Capitol, and she's just one of many, we got problems. Big problems. So, where do we go from here? I'm not a fortune teller. I have no idea. But my best advice that I can give you is set your families up for success in hard times. While we still have grocery stores open and we are not locked down, because that's coming, you must stockpile food and provisions. Failure to do that will lead to your undoing. You'll have no choice but to stay with your families and try to help them survive. Not going to be a long video, folks. It's already, 16 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever it is. But hey, look, it's a very serious video. Think, act, or respond. It's up to us, people, to protect our families, our friends, our brothers and sisters on our left and our right. God bless you all. Sic semper tyrannis.